it's Brendel, and for today's video we are back looking at our planner. I wanted to do it this way just to have it a little more cleaner and kind of show you that I'm still using my planner for budgeting. It is more of like a recap, while the spreadsheet helps me keep up with the daily spending, and then planner lets me review, kind of sit down, slow down, and see what happened from when we planned to when we ended. So last time we talked, it was regarding, we did a recap of December's budget, and we kind of talked about January's budget. It was a little bit into the month, so we'll do a fast recap for the end of January, and then take a peek at the recap of February, so then we can start fresh with a March reset. Let's flip to January. Whoop. So to start off, we will have the monthly budget here. You can see we did have an increase in income. That is usually typical. We like to budget our income pretty low so that we have a little bit more flexibility at the end of the month. Our mortgage, Tacoma, phone bill, garbage, internet, life insurance, Spotify, Netflix, everything like that stayed the same. So we had fixed expenses of $2,112. For sinking funds, we did add a little extra. We'll kind of go over that on the next page. And we were only able to do that because we did get that extra income. Groceries was under by $33. Restaurant was under by $63. We only went out to coffee a couple times. And then all of our extra we were able to add towards investing, which is our Roth IRAs. And we just split that down the middle and put it towards Matt and I's separate Roth IRAs. So now we will dive into our sinking funds. So here are our beginning balances. Here's what we budgeted. And then here's what we actually decided to put into there. So you'll see some fluctuations, whether it's like $10 here, $30 here, a big chunk down here in vacation. So to start off, for auto insurance, we did have our 6-month premium for our vehicles come out, and then this is our ending amount, and this is fully funded for 2025. The remaining bills we'll get for a motorcycle and the second 6-month premium later in the year. Next, we have auto maintenance. We did get oil changes for both of our vehicles, so that kind of added up. Next, we had beauty. That was just a bunch of little things. I did get my eyebrows done twice. I get it every 3 weeks, so sometimes that lines up twice a month. Clothes, a little bit for both of us. We did add a little extra for Matt so that he could get what he wanted. Next, we have dogs, just food and treats there. We do need to build this up for Buddy's annual appointment. I haven't booked it yet, but usually it's in April, so that is kind of something I gotta keep in my mind. Electric, entertainment, this is actually negative. My sister paid me back for an escape room we did and for a hotel room coming up. Next, we have fitness and health. That was for some clear protein. I've been really liking it. It makes it nice and easy. It's very easy to drink in the morning, and it isn't as heavy as a traditional milky style protein, which is nice. Furniture, we did buy Matt a new workbench, and while that was not your traditional furniture item, it is a working desk out there that can go up and down and just fit. We had the money in furniture, so we wanted to use it. Our gas for the month was $172. We had gifts for our niece, friend's daughter, friend's birthday, and just everything for that. Home extras, we bought a few things. Medical, some medication and prescription. I got sick right at the end of January into February, so some of that was in there. Office supplies and books. Just a little thing. And then vacation, this was the big one where we definitely added extra to and to fund going forward. And I bought my ticket to the Go Wild Planner Convention that is in Indianapolis in May. And then I also bought or prepaid for the hotel room when we are going to go see the Crime Junkie live podcast. My sisters and I are going to go. And then lastly, our quarterly water bill came out. I wanted to kind of get through January nice and short and sweet, and now we can dive into February where we will actually write it out together. To start off, our income, we did get extra. We ended up bringing in $9,560. Let me turn this a bit. $8, which is an extra $3,968. Our mortgage did increase from January, but we had known about it before we had did the budget, so we have an increase of $22 there. So it was nice to know that beforehand. Our Tacoma is still the same. We're about a year out, or if we put any extra in this year, we could potentially pay it off this year, which is very exciting. Our phone bill did increase by $5. Next we have garbage. That was $85. Our internet is $75. Life insurance is $38. Spotify is $17 and Netflix is $15. So then that put us at $2,139 for our total fixed expenses. Next we have our variable expenses, and for our sinking funds, we added a bunch more again. So this, we ended up adding a total of $3,560, which is an extra $969. And again, we will go over it, don't you worry. For groceries, we were under again, only by $3. And same with restaurant, actually was under by $3. So we ended up putting $4,429 for variable expenses, which is an extra $963. And lastly, for the remainder of February, we were able to add $3,000 to our investing. And so that was an even $1,500 to both Matt and I. We are going to take a little break. Okay, so now we will dive into our sinking fund. So it already has the beginning balances and what we budgeted at the beginning of February. And we will just fill out the actual spent and ending. So to start off, for auto insurance, we didn't plan to add anything and we didn't spend anything because in January we had our premium. So we still have the $1,464. Next, for auto maintenance, we still added the $100. We didn't spend anything, so now we have $174.32. For beauty, we had to add a little bit extra, $163, and I spent $162.84. There is a remaining of 34 cents. I stocked up on some Olay moisturizer. I do the daytime and nighttime, and they had it at Costco on sale. So that was a little bit of it. And then just my eyebrow appointment and soap and that kind of thing. Car tabs, we still added 20. We didn't spend anything. I want to say May is when our Ninja is due. And it's a 2-year cycle. I want to say that's the only one this year. We had the other 3 last year. So we have $68.08. For clothes, we added 100 for each of us. That's what we expected. And I spent $257.53. One second. So that gives us an ending of $102.54 for my clothes. I bought a new puffy white North Face hoodie and then some new underwear. For clothes, Matt spent $70.99 and he has a remaining amount of $29.66. Costco, we didn't add anything. We didn't spend anything, so we still have that same amount. For dogs, we did add 100 and spent $92.47. We got some wet food, dry food, different toys, and some more treats. We have a remaining amount of $102.78. For electric, we still added $150, which is about the average, a little higher, and the bill came in at $143.69. So we have an ending amount of $319.62 in there. I think we could probably reduce it, but I know here at the end of this year, our electricity is going up like 15%. So I just want to keep that in there so we can still use it. For entertainment, we still added the 300 and spent $374.91. So we have an extra $151.57. I planned a Galentine's event at a local hotel and we had like a little sleepover. We did an escape room, board game style, went swimming and just kind of hung out. Also, Matt had a potluck at work. That'll come out of there. He bought a game online that also comes out of there. Just kind of all of those little things. Fitness and health, we did add 50 and spent $41.01 on clear protein again. And so we have remaining $66.54. Next for furniture, we added 100. We didn't buy anything, so we have $1,146.91. Gas, we added 200 like normal, and it was $176.95 for the month. And that leaves a remaining of $232.38. For gifts, in December, we added 100. We still haven't gone over our Christmas anniversary budget for 2025, so we're just kind of slowly adding to it. Last year was about $2,500, so we'll definitely get there by Christmas. And we kind of will go over it and narrow down it here in the next couple months. So we now have $2,235.82. Gifts in general, we did add extra to this. We bumped it up to $600. My niece got her GED. And one of the agreements was originally if she went back to school, we would pay for her driving school. She didn't want to do that for various reasons, and she proposed getting her GED instead, and she has worked hard over this past year to do that, and she did finally get it. So we're very excited for her, and so with that we did pay for her driving school, and we did a little celebration for her getting that certificate. So we spent $753.56, and we have a remaining $2.98. Home extras, we added 100, and we spent $119.67. We got some new couch pillows, a doormat, a new saw blade, putty knife set, just some other random things that Matt got for tools out in the garage. So we have $795 remaining. Home improvement, we added 100, and we spent $190.34, and we did a little remodel of our pantry. And originally we had 4 wire shelves, and now we have 8 shelves, and I'm so excited for them. It just gives us a lot more visibility on what's on them. They're not as deep as our original shelves, but since we have more of them, we can see what's on them easier, and it doesn't allow for stuff to get stacked. We selected a system that we can move the shelves up and down to accommodate the different types of food that we buy. So now we have in our home improvement $318.95. For hunting, we added the $50, and Matt did get his sportsman's package, $129.25, and he can get it anytime throughout the year as long as it's before he goes hunting or fishing. So sometimes he'll get it in January. I think last year he got it in April, so I'll have to look at the calendar to see if I need to move that. We had the amount in there, so he went and picked it up one day. There is $71.68 remaining. For medical, we had it 100 and we spent $33.51 on some medication. We are working on going to the doctor more and kind of figuring out what's going on with our bodies. So we have a remaining amount of $516.40. For office supplies and books, we added 100 is what we expected and spent $57.53. And that's my instant ink, which is about $5 a month. I bought some Live Love Posh sticker books, and then I bought some cardstock. And so we have $153.62 remaining. Next we have outdoors, which we added 50. We didn't spend anything. And so we have an extra, or a remaining amount of $150.87. For technology, we added 102 and spent $101.63. So we have an extra $473.56. This was for my Cricut access, and then this is for my Adobe subscription that we have funded for when that comes due. And then next, for vacation, we bumped this up to $850 because while my trip for the Go Wild event is fully funded, I wanted to bring up the remaining balance. So we now have $2,245.93 in there. It's kind of hard to write at the end here. And then lastly, we have our water bill. This was quarterly, so you saw it came out in January, so we didn't have it, but we do build it up. So it is $125.76 remaining for the water category. And that is what our February bills looked like. And we can take a peek, I think. Yeah, so on this recap page that I don't show, I mean, most of these pages I don't show on Instagram after the fact. You might see them before, but our mortgage and phone increased, so I put a note there. Matt got his sportsman's package. We did have our Cricut access come through. Our niece's GED celebration and driving school we paid for. I had a Galentine's event and a pantry remodel. So I use this budget notes section for anything that's like significant that impacted our spending for the month. Whether we will see that again next year, like obviously my niece already has her GED. She's not going to get it again next year, but it's something nice to like look back and on some of these ones that in February our mortgage will either increase or decrease depending on how the taxes change for the year, and our escrow that's lumped in with our mortgage. So it's not technically our mortgage that increases, it's the escrow, but I just call it one and the same. Our phone increase, that might happen next year, I don't know, but I'll make a note of it so that come February of 2026 I will know, hey, last year the phone increased, maybe take a look at it. That is our February budget and our January budget. You kind of got 2 in 1 here. So hopefully I will have the March reset also done here soon, so you can kind of see the beginning of March and how that is starting out. But for now, we have this, we have February, we have January recap. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave them down below. I'd be happy to answer them and give more detail in case I wasn't clear on anything, or if you just have random questions, I'd be happy to answer them. So anyways, thank you so much for following along and joining me in this journey, and I will talk to you later. Bye!